Hi guys, I hope that you're all doing really well. So it is that time again where I wanted to talk about some current favorites of mine. To be completely honest with you guys, I have not really been wearing many fragrances recently because my dog has been really sick. Ollie was really sick for about, I would say just over a week, and before that, I was not really feeling very good. So I kind of stopped wearing fragrances because I was worried that if I sprayed something really strong around him, it would bother him and it would somehow make him even more sick. So I didn't really wear like a lot of strong fragrances recently, but I did still managed to discover some like new favorites of mine that I wanted to share with you guys. So let's get into it. This is like a current favorite fragrances of me. I think I will start with this fragrance from Guerlain. This is Neroli Outrenoir. And I have made a video about this fragrance on my TikTok because I fell in love with this fragrance. It's something that I have smelled in passing probably about 5 times. Whenever I go to a Guerlain counter or the boutique at Dubai Mall, I will always go through and smell everything. But I never really like held on to the tester strip of this one and kept on smelling it. It was always just very quick, and I would smell it and I would say that smells really good, add it to the wish list, but I would never really like take the action and actually buy the fragrance. So I recently went to a Guerlain event in Dubai and I re-smelled everything, of course, and I fell just madly in love with Neroli Outrenoir. If you guys have never smelled this fragrance, it is one of the most beautiful fragrances I have tried in a very long time. What you're going to get with this scent is this very clean, crisp, bright orange blossom with a sweet musk and also a slightly smoked black tea. The opening of this scent initially reminded me of a less citrusy version of Wouloncha from Nichane, but then as it settles, it turns totally different. It's a slightly sweet, musky orange blossom that feels bright and crisp and fresh, but also slightly addictive because of that smoked black tea. It is truly incredible, you guys. I am head over heels in love with this fragrance, like absolutely in love with it. It's not your typical Neroli orange blossom scent. It's something really unique and just so perfectly done. So I absolutely love this fragrance. The longevity and projection is not great, but it's not bad at all. It probably lasts on my skin around 5 to 6 hours, I would say, but I do not care at all. Like, I do not care. This fragrance is absolutely spectacular, and I really recommend that you guys check it out. If you like orange blossom, Neroli, but something more fresh and crisp and slightly sweet and musky, you will fall in love with this fragrance. So definitely check it out. It is one of my favorite like new bottles in my collection at the moment. Next up is a fragrance that I have wanted for the longest time, you guys. Like, I have wanted this fragrance since I was living in Australia, probably about 7 to 8 years. I have wanted this fragrance. It is Maron Tonka from Jo Malone. I finally got a little bottle of it. I love this fragrance, and I find this fragrance to be one of the sexiest scents I have ever tried, especially for men. Like, I am wearing this fragrance, I am enjoying it, I love the way that it smells, but something about this fragrance smells quite masculine and quite just incredible for a man. Now, what you're going to get with this scent is, of course, tonka, but you also have a lavender note here, and I think the tonka and the lavender is kind of creating this fougere accord ever so subtly, and there is also a slight greenness to the tonka. There's kind of like a greenness going on in there, mixed with the myrrh as well. Myrrh is like a balsamic resin, and it just comes together and creates this just incredible, very sexy, dark, masculine, sweet but not too sweet, just phenomenal scent. And when I say masculine, I don't mean that this is only for men. I know a lot of women that love and wear Maron Tonka all the time, including myself. I love wearing this fragrance, but there is just something about this scent that I would specifically recommend men to wear and check this fragrance out. So Maron Tonka, absolutely love it, and I am so happy to have this fragrance in my collection. Longevity and projection is also really good on this one. On my skin, I get around, I would say 7 to 8 hours or so with a really nice projection. Very sexy, very addictive, just absolutely incredible fragrance that I'm really happy to have. Okay, let's go to something totally different. This is the other side of the scale. This is Eladaria from Creed. Now, when I saw this fragrance like being released online and I saw the notes and everything, I was kind of like, I'm sure it's going to be really boring. You know, I was not crazy excited about trying this fragrance, if I'm being honest. When I smelled this fragrance though, and when I sprayed it on my skin, I was really taken aback. This fragrance is not going to be for everyone, and maybe some people will feel like it's boring and it's not worth it, etc. So everyone's opinion is welcome. But for me, you guys, when I wore this on my skin, I actually fell in love with this fragrance. Eladaria is this very musky floral fragrance. It is very musky and powdery and feminine and sweet and innocent and beautiful, and I absolutely love this. There is a brightness to the scent. The florals in here feel very airy and playful and fluffy. It doesn't feel like this heady white floral or anything like that. It's a very like feminine, musky floral with a powderiness, a sweetness. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love this fragrance and I am really happy to have it. I crave this scent when I want to go for something ultra feminine, because to me, not only is like the presentation of this bottle very feminine, the scent inside to me personally is ultra feminine. Of course, if you're a guy and you like wearing those powdery florals, go for it, absolutely. But I'm just saying what I'm smelling is a very feminine, delicate, innocent, sweet floral, and it is so pretty. And I just absolutely adore this fragrance, you guys. Absolutely adore it. So Eladaria from Creed, really, really happy to have this fragrance in my collection. I think it is a great release. If you're somebody that's into heavier, sweeter scents, more intense fragrances, I'm not sure you will like this one. But if you're somebody that appreciates those fleurs narcotiques, like these kind of musky florals that are very pretty, please check out Eladaria. I think you'll really like this one. And the longevity and projection on my skin personally is around, I would say 7 hours, like a really good 7 hours on my skin. I can smell this fragrance on me. It does tend to last and I just absolutely love it. Another fragrance that I have been loving and I spoke about on my other social medias is Orencie from Chambre 52. Now, this is a new brand that I really think is going to become popular and well-loved in the community because it has that really like clean girl, Byredo, minimalistic aesthetic. This is a beautiful new French niche brand and I am just loving everything from the brand. But Orencie has been the one that I've been wearing the most because it has this really clean, effortless, musky, airy, woody vibe that I just love and I crave on a day-to-day basis. When I don't want to think about my fragrance and I don't want something that's going to annoy me or bother me, I am reaching for Orencie. This is a beautiful, slightly floral, musky, woody fragrance. You also have a bit of a lychee note in there. And I know that the notes might make you think that this smells like Delina. In my opinion, it doesn't at all. The lychee is what brings that familiarity. You kind of think, oh, am I smelling? But it's not. Like, it's a totally different composition. The way that it smells is very different. It's clean and musky, but yet woody and a little bit floral. It's a very interesting fragrance. I really recommend it to all of you girlies out there, or guys as well, that like something a little bit airy, a bit musky, that kind of clean, woody vibe, like Another 13 or things like that. You should check out Orencie. It's a really beautiful fragrance and I found that it lasts on my skin for a really long time and on my clothes. It lasts on my clothes for ages. I was doing my washing the other day. I smelled a t-shirt. I was like, what on earth did I spray on that t-shirt? And then I realized it was Orencie. It lasts on your clothes for ages, even after washing them as well. So really beautiful fragrance. I definitely recommend this one to you guys. Orencie from Chambre 52. I think that this fragrance might have been in a previous current favorites. You guys will have to remind me, but I want to talk about it again because I just find this fragrance to be so beautiful. So beautiful and so perfect. And I cannot stop loving on this fragrance right now. It is the Merchant of Venice La Venice Parfum. A couple of people actually bought this off of my recommendation and told me how much they fell in love with this, and I am so happy because this is so slept on, you guys. And I actually have, you can check in the description box, but you can get this fragrance really cheap. I think I have a discount with someone, so you can check in my description, but you can find this fragrance really cheap. And honestly guys, I will tell you, if you like vanilla, snatch this fragrance up. It is absolutely incredible. So good, you guys. This is a beautiful, not overly sweet vanilla with lots of heliotrope, so it brings this creamy, slightly floral almond effect. It's just incredible. So the way that I would describe this scent is a more like feminine, girly take on a vanilla, but don't let that steer men away from trying it. It definitely doesn't smell ultra feminine and girly, but it's just a slightly more feminine way of creating a vanilla fragrance, and it's absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. It's not too sweet. It's a bit powdery. It's smooth, it's creamy, it's slightly almondy, and it's just amazing, you guys. Like, whenever I wear this fragrance, I am intoxicated by my own scent when I wear this fragrance. So really recommend it. The longevity and projection is also really good on my skin. I get around 8 hours of really good wear with a softer projection. So definitely recommend La Venice Parfum. Out of the Merchant of Venice, I would say it's definitely like I want to say my top favorite, if not my top 3 for sure. La Venice Parfum. Definitely recommend it, and you can get it really cheap. So check in the description box. The next fragrance is a scent that when I saw it online, I was so excited about because of the name of the perfume and also the brands. This is Celine. I am always excited about a new Celine fragrance. I feel like they are very good with releasing fragrances. They do not bombard us. They release 1 to 2 maximum per year. The last one was Zuzu, I think it was last year. And now they have Ete Français. Now, this fragrance, look at the massive bottle that I have. This fragrance, Ete Français, a French summer, is exactly what this fragrance smells like. It is amazing, you guys, like amazing. And if I had a smaller bottle, because this is just huge, I think this is a 200 ml, I would absolutely take this with me to Corsica this year, because this is exactly what I think of when I think of the scent of a French summer. Now, a lot of people might assume that this is a creamy, sweet, vanillic floral fragrance, but actually, you guys, I'm going to tell you something. You have to like Neroli in order to like this fragrance, because it's actually a lot more Neroli dominant than what I initially expected based off of the notes. I was thinking that this would be a little bit more creamy and sweet and beachy. However, this is much more of a Neroli dominant fragrance, and as it settles down, you do get a little bit of a sweetness, a little bit more of that creamy solar aspect coming through. But in general, I would say this is for Neroli lovers. As you guys know, I love the note of Neroli. It is one of my favorite clean, summery floral notes. But this fragrance, I think a lot of people were assuming it would be more of a beachy type of scent with coconut, etc. It is a lot more Neroli dominant forward. So I just want to warn you guys. And some people were asking me to compare it to Parade. If Parade is more Neroli or this is more Neroli, this is much more Neroli. Parade is more bergamot and musk, etc. This is very much a straightforward Neroli with a bit of this creaminess and a little touch of sweetness. But yes, I love this fragrance. It smells really good on the skin, really just smooth and classy and French, and I love it. I really love this fragrance, you guys. So the longevity and projection is the only thing I would say is a little bit of a letdown with this scent. It probably lasts around 6 hours on my skin, and then I don't really smell it that much anymore. So that's the only thing with this scent. But in terms of the profile of the fragrance, I absolutely adore it. So Ete Français, I have been loving at the moment when I want this really classy, like beachy European summer vibe, I'm reaching for this one. Okay, so the next fragrance is a fragrance from Dorsier. As you guys know, I love the brand Dorsier because it really feels very elegant and timeless and chic and classic to me, and that is something that I really love about the brand. I think if you are somebody that likes diptyque, you are most likely going to like Dorsier. Not because they have like the same fragrances or anything, but I just feel like a similar kind of vibe between the brands, between the scents. And I think that if you are a really big fan of diptyque, you should try Dorsier. So one of my new favorites from the brand is called Perdu. And this fragrance, again, I've spoken about it on my other social medias. This is a really stunning, clean iris fragrance. If you are a fan of more of a fresh iris scent, you are going to die for this fragrance. It is so beautiful. It's musky and slightly powdery, clean, fluffy, angelic, beautiful. There is something about Dorsier fragrances that really smell romantic to me. I have quite a few fragrances from the brand, and most of them have this really whimsical, airy, romantic, charming vibe to them. And I just absolutely adore that about the brand. So you guys know I have a few favorites like, what's it called? Sortelève, Accord Perdu, Flower Lust, etc. But Accord Perdu at the moment is the one that I'm reaching for the most because it has a cleanness to the iris. Usually iris fragrances, I feel like they're quite intense, they're quite powdery and thick and dense. This one feels a lot more airy and fluffy and bright, and I absolutely love it. So really recommend this one. Longevity and projection is not too bad actually for being more of a fresh fragrance. I probably get around 7 hours of really good wear with this one with a nice projection in your arm's length. So definitely recommend it. If, like I said, you are a fan of things like diptyque, I would recommend getting a sample set from Dorsier so you can kind of explore the brand because they really have beautiful quality fragrances, and I love it. I am very excited to see what the brand is going to do next. I'm always waiting for a notification on Sniff if they launch something new, etc. All right, so the next fragrance is going to be quite frustrating for some of you guys because I don't know where you can find this fragrance. I don't even know the notes of this fragrance. Like, honestly, you guys, I feel like I'm going in blind. But I actually got this fragrance when I was in China attending a fragrance exhibition over there, which was honestly such an incredible experience for me. I want to go back so badly. But one of my favorite fragrances that I discovered there was an incredible matcha tea fragrance. I have never smelled anything like this, and I am completely mesmerized by this scent. This is Carpe Diem from a brand called To Define. So this is the bottle if you guys want to take a little screenshot or something. But this fragrance, you guys, is honestly the best matcha tea fragrance I have ever smelled in my life. Like, ever. This is incredible. This is a slightly creamy, slightly sweet, but fresh matcha fragrance. It is just phenomenal, like absolutely phenomenal. I feel like when Western brands create a matcha scent, they make it very gourmand with milk and vanilla and caramel and pistachio. They don't really let the matcha note shine, which matcha in perfumery, it's supposed to smell a bit green and earthy, like that. And in here, you get that greenness, you get a little bit of that earthiness, but it's slightly sweet, and it also has a little bit of a freshness, maybe a little bit of a floral aspect too. And it's just incredible. Really, guys, in terms of a matcha fragrance, this blew me off of my chair, and I really love this fragrance so much. It's comforting, yet easy to wear, effortless. It's something that people like to smell. I've showed this fragrance to multiple people since getting back from my trip, and all of them were blown away by this scent. So if I can find it down below, like a website or something where you can check it out, I will link it down below for you guys. But really an incredible fragrance. Carpe Diem from To Define. Oh my gosh, this fragrance as well. Oh my goodness. This is a fragrance that I got into my collection in the last 2 weeks or so. You guys, I am obsessed with it. This is from Hind Al Oud, which is a local brand from UAE. And this fragrance, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. It's YA''E, and I do not know how to pronounce that, so I will just leave it on the screen. But this is the bottle here. And I am completely enchanted by this scent. This is so unique, but yet so wearable and beautiful. Oh my goodness. Like, Hind Al Oud are known for creating quite intense Middle Eastern fragrances using a lot of saffron, oud, tobacco, a lot more intense notes. Gaiac as well, very smoky fragrances. This, however, is something a little bit more fresh, feminine, floral, a bit more airy, transparent. It is incredible, you guys, like absolutely incredible. And actually, if you are somebody that is getting married in 2025 or 2026, I would recommend checking this fragrance out because it does give me a bit of a bridal sensation as well. There is no white florals listed, I don't think, but there is something quite bridal about this scent. What you have is saffron, musk, aldehydes, pistachio. So it's quite bright and fresh, but you have that little bit of something metallic and saffrony in there. And you also have a dash of something sweet and comforting. But it's just so interesting, you guys. I struggle to explain this fragrance. I really struggle to explain it because it's very airy and quite a transparent scent, but you have a lot of notes in there. The saffron is so beautifully done here. It feels quite twinkly and airy and just stunning. There is the aldehydes, which bring a little bit of that freshness and a bit of a brightness without being sharp and screechy at all. It's just beautiful. I really recommend checking this out. Hind Al Oud is a very well-known brand here in the region. I feel like less so internationally, like maybe some of you in the US or Europe don't really know about Hind Al Oud, but here in Dubai, it is well loved by the locals. Like, this is a really, really famous brand here, and I would absolutely recommend checking this one out. It is 10 out of 10. And finally, the last fragrance that I have not been able to stop wearing is another fragrance that I got in China. Again, I will do my best to link something or somewhere that you can research about the scent, but this one is from a brand called Bloom Kosleig, and this fragrance is called Vanhua. And this is just incredible, you guys. Like, incredible. I have no words for this scent. This is just wow. Like, really, I'm speechless. When I smelled this fragrance for the first time, my reaction was crazy, and it was one of my favorite discoveries at the exhibition. Actually, both of these fragrances, they were probably like my top 2 discoveries. I probably have about a top 6 that I discovered. These are like my top 2. Vanhua is this incredible, again, no idea of the notes. I cannot find these fragrances anywhere, but I would say you get like this very creamy sandalwood, like a very creamy, milky sandalwood, a bit of a sweetness. Like, there is something almost gourmand-esque about it without being gourmands. Like, there is definitely something addictive and slightly sweet and edible without taking it into that territory of being sickly sweet. Very creamy sandalwood. Oh my gosh, like woody, maybe even like a little coconutty. Like, it's just incredible, you guys, and I love, love, love this fragrance. I really hope that this will be more accessible to all of you guys to try. Same with the other one from China, because it is a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. So yeah. And the last fragrance that I'm going to talk about is a fragrance that I don't even own, and I don't know why, because it's not even an expensive, like an overly expensive fragrance. It's like pretty reasonably priced for what it is. It is Escentric 01 from Escentric Molecules. I have Molecular 01. I love it so much. I can see my bottle. I have like this much left. But Escentric 01, I have just so much love for that fragrance. I have known and loved it for years and years and years. It was one of the first niche brands that I discovered when I was living in Australia, Escentric Molecules. And Escentric 01, I actually had a family friend of mine that was always wearing Escentric 01, and she smelled phenomenal. She always smelled so good. I love this person. I have really fond memories of this person. but the fragrance I have tested so many times throughout the years. I am obsessed with it right now. I'm actually going to get a bottle in a couple of days of Escentric 01. Cannot wait to have it in my collection finally. Escentric 01 is an incredible fresh fragrance. Obviously you have the Isoe Super, but they've kind of built on top of that DNA, so it feels a little bit more full-bodied than Molecule 01. It feels a little bit more fresh, a little bit more crisp, a little bit more, like I said, full-bodied than the original Molecule 01. Escentric 01 is amazing. I love it so much and I cannot wait to have it in my collection. I have been to a couple of different stores this week, whether it was for work, whether it was for... Actually, every time I go to the mall these days or go to a store, a perfume store, it's for work. I'm either filming these interviews or whatever. So every time I've gone past the Escentric Molecules counter and I've sprayed myself with Escentric 01, and it just reminded me how much I love that fragrance and have wanted it for years. It is incredible, you guys, and something that a lot of you guys might not know because a lot of people are very new to the community. Escentric Molecules were really like that brand back in the day. Like maybe about 8 to 9 years ago, Escentric Molecules, like they were that brand. Like every cool girl that I ever watched online, that I ever saw was wearing Molecule 01 or Escentric 01. Like it was that brand to be wearing. So I don't know, there's something about the brand that I personally absolutely love. It's not because of the refinement, it's just their fragrances to me are so easy to wear, just so good. They are so good. So yeah, Escentric 01 is my last favorite. I will have my bottle very soon and I am very excited about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love you and I will talk to you soon. Bye.